All right, hey folks. Um, this is day 21, so this will be 3 weeks into this experiment here. We got a little over a week left, probably. Like I said, I'm probably just gonna cut this off right around a month just to see where we end up. But I do want to take a look at how far we've gotten here. Here's day one. Not even a very big map. I just kind of scribbled it out off the top of my head. A few mistakes. Well, a lot of mistakes really. For one thing, like there's no real definition here for any of the Ohio Valley states. A lot of mistakes kind of on borders here. Wisconsin looks gigantic. There's nothing particularly good about this map here. The proportions are all a little bit off. There's another, I didn't really study at all before I made this. So like Alaska is a right mess, obviously. Florida, I don't even know what the shape of that is, and for there's suffice to say, this is it's not a terrible map if you're just trying to scribble something down, but it's definitely missing a lot of details. So let's take a look at day 20. Yeah, much better. A lot more detail. A lot of features in states now that I didn't have before. West Virginia actually has both of its panhandles here. Maryland, not half bad, but it obviously could use a little work there. I've got some details like the little part of South Carolina that pokes into Georgia. Even though South Carolina is a bit of a mess on day 20 here, you know, little bits and pieces of things that I didn't know about, 3 weeks ago, which is good. That's part of this experiment, kind of learning about little features of states that I didn't know about before as well, and just kind of picking up little bits and pieces of like little trivia as well. So, with all that being said, let's get down to day 21 here. Here's my little practice session beforehand. I kind of practiced the Illinois bulge right here a little bit. Didn't really try on this eastern border here. Kind of just scribbled it out, but it's not half bad. And the other big thing I did was I drew the East Coast kind of just offhanded, and in the sense that like I started with like Pennsylvania and West Virginia rather than going all the way east, just to try to see if I get the shapes right. Virginia actually looks really good on this one, and Maryland actually looks pretty good as well on this. North Carolina not bad. New York's a bit of a mess, but everything else not too bad. So hopefully we can hopefully we can make it to this point fairly intact, and then be able to execute this again. So without further ado, let's get down to day 21 here. All right, not too great on Idaho there, but I've certainly done worse. So. All right, little mess. Oh my gosh. Arizona's going to be really tall here, actually. Made that way too short. Okay, well, make up for it a little bit there. All right, well, that's a major mistake right there, but I have certainly done worse. Okay, God, this West Coast is gonna be a right mess. All right, let's see. Let's try to regain focus here and see if I can at least finish this strong here. Also going for a little bit of speed here. Not really going for a speed run, but at the same time, like, I do want to kind of test my instincts just a little bit, you know. Just see if I can. See if I've not to say that I've gotten better, but just to see if see how my instincts are, you know. They're certainly better than they were 3 weeks ago on this, but I do kind of want to kind of test it out a little bit, you know. Not a half bad Texas there. Okay, if I remember right, well, that's if I remember right, okay, a little wider there. So up to this little bit of Iowa that kind of goes in. Like Missouri actually kind of bulges inward a little bit based on that little bit of practice I did with Illinois before it kind of drops down for St. Louis there like that. And then it kind of does that. And then Iowa here does like a kind of a bulge out first before it a slightly bigger bulge, and then it kind of tapers off. bit of a right mess, but you know my eternal excuse, I have done worse. Y'all just saw how I did worse on day like 1, so I'm not gonna beat myself up too much about it, because what's the use? This is fun, so no reason to. No real reason to, you know, like I said, beat myself up about it, so. Okay, not loving the height on Tennessee there, but we will deal. Okay, one of my better Marylands actually, but still not as good as I've practiced it, but it's not half bad. As I always say, not half bad, so. Alright, well, let's see how the South goes here now. So the South is always a bit of a wild card for me, so. Okay, Mississippi kind of leans into Alabama just a little bit.
Alabama has a little more there. And Georgia does that. And South Carolina kind of pokes in a little bit to Georgia. Okay, and then there. And basically a 45-degree angle actually until I believe it coincides with like the peak of Virginia there. Okay, this is gonna be a right mess, but okay. Really got to work on the North Carolina shape, and it might be the only state that I've not really been happy like with how I've done it at any point, which is funny because I lived there for like 13 years. Okay, Connecticut has a fairly straight part, and then New York kind of leans in from Massachusetts, and then it kind of comes back out for Vermont. So we're gonna try to meet it up at the top there after we do this part here. All right, not bad. Has fewer straight borders than I had previously thought. We'll put it that way. And the Long Island. Connecticut, Rhode Island. Not my best Maine, but Michigan. Can't forget Michigan. we go. It's actually, I think that's moderately close on Alaska. It's not great, but it's there. It's a thing. Some Molokai, and then Oahu, and then I forget what these two islands are called, but there we go. There we go. All right. Early mistake on Arizona there. I don't know if that what that affected. I think it affects the height of Utah obviously, and then by proxy the height of Colorado right there, which means that actually all four of these states ended up getting squished a little bit. So not too happy about that, but Midwest not half bad on this one. Kentucky and Tennessee might not be as squished as I think it is. It might actually be a pretty squished state. North Carolina not happy about it. Virginia not bad. Maryland pretty decent. Rest of the South not too bad at all actually. Probably give this one a 7 out of 10. New England is actually I'm getting better at it because I kind of know the shapes of Vermont and New Hampshire now. Not that I didn't really know them before, but I definitely kind of didn't have the shapes quite right. It was just like a square with a little straight line through the middle, I guess. Pennsylvania I'd kind of squished a little bit at the top there, but yeah, a lot of good things on this map too, even though I made an early mistake. So not bad for the third week. Let's see if we can perfect this a little more in the last week we have here. So thanks for watching. See you next time.